Hello everyone, as promised, welcome to part 2 of the look at Quinn Hughes. This one we're going to go a little bit deeper and actually break down a little bit of film and a little bit of what he sees and what he's doing as opposed to kind of the 30,000 foot view that we had in part 1. So like we discussed in part 1, there's a lot to Hughes' game. He offers a lot, there's a lot that can be improved upon too. What's important for development is the how and the wind-up, not necessarily the result. The result is nice. Goals and championships and all that, those are good things. They generally happen to good players. But it's much more important to understand how you get to the result than the result itself at this phase. So it's important, too, not to assign blame when a negative event happens, like right here on this rush. Other than not having his stick down, Hughes plays this fine. He puts his player in the gutter. The puck gets wrapped around, it leaves his zone of control, but then look here, it ends up in his own net with less than 8 minutes to go to tie the game in a single elimination spot. That doesn't look great, but it's not really on Hughes. On the flip side, here's a scenario where he does wrong, it works out, and he gets rewarded. He chases his man all the way out to the blue line right off of a face-off. So here he's in good shape to switch off with the guy to the winger. He can then allow his centered circle to swap with him. I see that Michigan players are pretty adept at covering for Hughes. He can get a little puck focus sometimes. So here he ends up as the highest guy in the defensive zone, but then he ends up with the steal, and he tries to get some fast break points. Jumping into the rush is his calling card. Don't neuter him. Just make sure he's doing everything else right too. So here, don't stagnate in the zone. Right now, you know this play is over. You should have already been loaded to get back. There's a 0% chance Michigan can keep this alive. So it's time to get back on defense. But, I mean, he can cover it because he's just so fast. He beats his guy back. So we talk all the time about just mitigating the biggest risk on the rink. The best play in this case is to bracket this guy going down the middle. The back checker coming back is on the wrong side of the puck, so he still needs to be bracketed because down the line, even a tip that's being set up with the center lane drive is dangerous here. He's got the beat on this. He's faster than anyone on the rink, but instead he stops moving his feet and just starts to hook this player for no apparent reason. And then as the play continues, he just gets a little bit unsure, and then he eventually gets off the rink. But I just question why he quits doing the right thing in the midst of doing the right thing. He had that play under control, even with the late start, because he's the fastest player in the league. And then he just gives up on it for the oddly timed hook. In this next sequence, we're going to see he turns it over on the exit, and that happens. One thing that is pretty inconsistent with him is his gap control, particularly because he wants to be so aggressive and wants the puck, but we see why gap control is so important. It's one of the origination points of defense. So here Hughes is way off the puck and still kind of backtracking and sitting on his heels, just kind of in space. He could have been holding his own blue line. Instead, he's stuck in no man's land, and because he was on his heels, he has to reach. This opens up a lot of avenues for this two-man northeastern attack. What Hughes needs to do is start managing the lane, keep himself between the puck and the net, buy time for his partner to swing into the adjacent lane, that middle lane, and then that'll help him nail this thing shut. The play needs to be slowed in order to accomplish this. By giving space, you create attack speed against, which is what this situation doesn't need. Hughes gets fortunate that the puck gets chipped up in the air. That doesn't generate speed. Now we're in a pretty standard defensive posture. Look at player 7 in black. He's ready to lean on Hughes, but Hughes doesn't really engage him and gain any control over his hips or anything like that. Player 7 immediately realizes that he's loose, and Hughes won't be able to restrain him at all. So he's able to turn off of this and kind of have free reign in the offensive zone a little bit to keep things in Black's control. And Hughes never quite regains the metronome on this situation, and therefore he's kind of left out there hacking people and trying to just hang on for dear life. So before we go too much further into this, I want to assure Vancouver fans that nothing has changed since yesterday. I still like this player. This video does get better towards the end, but we want to break down some of the things. We all seen the highlight reels. We know he's a phenom player, but there's some things that show that he's not quite ready out of the box. And let's frame this for context too. The average age of a college freshman at playing hockey at the NCAA level is almost 20 and a half years old, which is like 700 degrees Celsius or something. I have no idea how the metric system works, and the average age for a NCAA hockey player in general is almost 22. He's doing this as an 18-year-old, which I know does not convert to Celsius before I get a bunch of hate mail about the metric system. So let's frame it in that context too. He's at just on the cusp of his development arc at the NHL level. So we have to frame it in that context. What he's doing is really, really impressive. So watch here. Watch him here. He's just gonna fool around with this team. He's walking the blue line at this level, and he's just gonna carry it in. Watch the speed as he gets back as this thing tracks around. Zoom, and he's right here now. All this, that's incredible. Now watch here, he gives it away. We know that's no good. There's no reason to harp on it. The key is not to compound problems. Look, he's got help here, and you're not the type of player that's going to blow anybody up, or whatever this is supposed to be. Just take away time and space, get in the position, force him into a bad help, or a bad area, force him into help, make a calculated play. Instead, he ends up with feathers there. Just relax. Play with urgency, not panic. Another area he can improve upon, just a little bit of the body language, the maturity. There, I'd be a little frustrated too if I couldn't get that zone entry. Channel it the right way. Here he stops moving his feet, reaches out. That's a hook. That's a penalty. And for no reason at all. And look at the time and the score, 0-0 midway through. Here, this outlet, this isn't exactly going to go his way, and it's just a little bit frustrated. I'll get back whenever. He turns his toe over for some reason. He does that all the time. Here, this is my power play. Let me get this puck. I don't blame him. I don't blame him in some regard, especially after this shot that they decide to take without Hughes touching the puck. But it's how you channel it. You don't want to turn around, not move your feet and hook a guy. Let's see how he comes back here. One-on-one defense, stick down, good play. That's a good play. That'll work just fine. This is going to go back the other way. He's going to start the breakout. That works. He wants to join the rush. He's involved. It's a tie game in the last 20 minutes. Puck comes wrapped around. It ends up getting thrown away. And then watch here, he's back on defense, watch him. Okay, this is on Adam Gaudette. Stick down, keeps the middle lane. That's going to work just fine. If you're channeling it the right way, it's a frustrating game. You look how Drew Doughty plays in these guys. It gets frustrating. But you got to channel it the right way to help your team win. And that's something that he's going to continue to work on. Last little bit on defense here, and then we'll show off some of the amazing tricks that he can do. Back on defense here. This puck is going to get banged back across, and it's going to get turned over. But look at how he recovers. Look at the blade pointed right at the puck. That's perfect. He's putting him right into the gutter, not letting him out. Then he's going to apply a little bit of body. That's really good. That shows a lot of poise. Now, here, as the play is going to rotate back out, so it's important to understand and read off your partner well. So watch Ciccone. He's going to commit to the behind the net. Hughes can't leave the front of the net. You don't want two D-men back and behind hardly ever, especially while the puck is still fluid like this. Don't get suckered in, or else this is going to happen. Yikes. And it just takes a beat, even at this level, and you're in real hot soup. Just risk mitigation. I know everyone's probably sick of hearing me say it, but risk mitigation, make sure that you're paying attention to what your partner's doing. Don't space out in front of the net. Just like I promised, it's going to get better. This is the first shift of the game. I don't normally show shifts out of order for very specific reason, but let's just take a look at what he's going to do right off the hop. According to the clock, the game hasn't even started yet, but it has. Watch Hughes get it. He's coming down this. He's going to come down this middle lane. Now watch here. Even with this guy crossing over the top, Northeastern has this boxed up. There's no chance he can. Oh, well, all right. Well, you can get through that. Now look here. He's got 10 eyes on him, right? And he knows it. So watch as he turns here, and watch him look. Watch this. He got the high-low play set up, and look what he sees. I have a guy that's going to get open right here. I'm just going to slip this right inside here, and then a little tic-tac-toe play. That's how it starts early. And then two, on top, it's good aggressive defense. There's nothing going on behind me. Northeastern's in a tizzy here, and he's going to step up and try to make a play. Yeah, it doesn't quite work out for him, but it's not because he made a bad play. It just sometimes doesn't go your way. And then you get back and you help out and you support the play defensively. That's a great start. NHL guys work on escapability all the time, no matter what you are. You shouldn't be able to do this. That's not even fair to try to keep up with as a forechecker. Look at that tight turning radius. I mean, that's just incredible. And then watch here, he's going to get it. It's going to come all the way around. He's going to get it. He makes himself available. That's good. Lets him know he's there. It's back, and then here it comes right back to him. Here comes the shot. Whoops. And look at him walk, create a lane for himself, and then get a good shot. That's some world-class talent. Take a look at one last shift here. Complement his skill in the offensive zone, not just the zone entry guy. Watch him pick this up. He's going to stop, go against the grain, one more stop, and watch what he sees. This defenseman skates and sticks are going this way. This forward momentum's going this way. Look what I found. This seam right into the slot. Doesn't quite get the shot away, but he's also not done with the puck. He's going to crawl back around, get a little scissor cycle here going with player 9. just keeps the offensive play alive. If you can get everything going in the right direction with him, clean up the defense a little bit, this is a whale of a player for Vancouver going forward.